because that is a thoroughbred cross racing machine.
What about the bike, Ollie? No, I think you're absolutely right. But the difference is they're still relatively supple, aren't they? The wider tyres make a big, big difference. But then on this one, just that slightly higher bottom bracket changes the character so much. And so unless you ride them back to back, you might not necessarily perceive those differences. But when you are in this incredibly fortunate position that we've been in today, it's remarkable the characters that shine through, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Now, if you'd like to see more epic off-road content with mad skills with a Z, then why not check out Si's awesome mountain bike versus gravel bike adventure video in Iceland. Click down here.
Yeah, and please give this one a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. This bike is absolutely released just this year. It's got disc brakes, electronic gears, it's super light, it's super aero, and yet it's also still comfortable thanks to the compliance from its carbon fibre frame. I mean, it is absolutely a super bike. But how good is it really? I mean, I only ask the question because this has been designed to be raced, and therefore it has to comply by a really strict set of rules that's been laid down by cycling's international governing body. Now, I haven't done a road race in 6 years. I suspect many of you have never even been tempted, and yet I can almost guarantee that your bike will have been designed to at least allow you to take to the start line. So what would happen if you ignored those rules, threw off the shackles, got a little creative? Ha-ha! Boom! This rather funky little number is a tri-rig Omni. As the name suggests, it is a triathlon bike, or more specifically, a non-drafting triathlon bike. And as such, it's been designed to be used with aero handlebars up front. But it does, as you can see, have the versatility to allow it to fit drop handlebars if you wished. Now, I suspect that no one has ever wished to before, but here you go. Now, first things first, other than the love it or leave it aesthetics, this bike has been designed purely around aerodynamics, because seemingly the one rule that Iron men and women are governed by with their bikes is to balance straight line speed against crosswind stability. So in this case, what they've done, firstly, is to make the bike insanely narrow. The theory being that you'll then keep that frontal area as low as possible. The second thing is to remove as many edges as possible between the front and the back of the bike. So in this case, therefore, you can see I have no down tube, and I also have no seat stays either. That does mean that I've lost where I would normally put my water bottle, so instead I'd have to tuck it behind my seat. But what I get instead from that giant carbon fibre beam is an integrated top tube bag. Yes, Iron men and women love a storage solution even more than IKEA do. And so right here, built into the carbon fibre, is a little storage compartment. So what kind of things can you put in there then? Well, I have quickly learned anything long and thin. So in this case, I've got a Ginster's sausage roll and also several wriggly worms, which have the added benefit of being able to be eaten almost entirely hands-free. I tell you what though, I have got a really dry mouth. So, what do our good friends at the UCI have to say about this then? Here we go. Right. Preamble. Their words, not mine. Bicycles shall comply with the spirit and principle of cycling as a sport. The spirit presupposes that cyclists will compete in competitions on an equal footing. The principle asserts the primacy of man over machine. Principle's definition, 1.3.007. The bicycle is a vehicle with two wheels. 1.3.010. The bicycle shall be propelled solely through a chain set by the legs.
inferior muscular chain, moving in a circuit.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Hello?
Huh? Fairings? What? Sorry. Sorry. Basically, the tubes of a road bike need to fit within this outline. As you can see on the Trek Madone, some of them are a squeeze, but unsurprisingly, they all fit perfectly. When we swap to our Tri-Rig Omni, well, not so much. And we haven't even mentioned the fairings that make the brakes more aero. They contravene Rule 1.3.024. Well, I'll spare you the details of that one. Now, I suspect there are two burning questions remaining. Firstly, does ripping up the rulebook actually make a bike better? Well, shall we see? Now, it's perhaps not fair to compare them too closely, given that I'm not remotely using this bike for its intended purpose, which is, of course, time trials within triathlons. And so it's perhaps for that reason that the bike's not particularly light, comes in at about 9 kilos, which is kind of ironic, I suppose, given that the UCI also have their minimum weight rule, and this doesn't remotely trouble it. And of course, because this is designed primarily for steady-state effort, it doesn't have to be particularly stiff. And that's part of the reason why they've managed to get it quite as narrow as they have, given that most top-end modern carbon road bikes are typically built with quite wide tubes, with more material placed at the edges, where it's better placed to brace against torsional stress. But then, it doesn't really matter in time trials. Indeed, there's a growing band of advocates for flexure frames for just this kind of purpose. But it's when you take it out on the open road, where you might want to lay down a bit of power to go over a steep climb or throw in a little sprint, that you might actually want something a little bit on the stiffer side. But you've got to say, on fast roads, this thing is insanely quick, and it feels pretty damn special. Oh, what baby oil slippery stuff.